What?
Hold on, wait, I'm trying to remember. Uh, what do they call them in Game of Thrones? They call them prostitutes.
Whores.
Yeah, whores. Okay, let's see. So yeah, Shay's a whore.
Yeah. So
So
is she one?
Rose was the other chick.
Rose. Right. Yeah. Rose is like the redhead who Joffrey kills, and it's the one that Tyrion or Joffrey. No, what the fuck is what's his name? Uh, Greyjoy.
Nice.
Holy fuck, Theon! He throws her like the extra coin to like lift her skirt up when she's riding away.
And she gets cross-bolted, right?
Yeah, yeah, to the bed, I think.
Mhm. What the fuck is wrong with Joffrey, dude?
Well, I don't know where I heard it, but I heard that there are people where instead of like, what do you feel joy from? Like, whatever, or like, what makes you feel good? The last time you felt good, what was it?
Um, yeah, probably having sex.
So imagine that feeling you get from doing that. Imagine you got that feeling from either severely hurting someone or ordering someone to be severely hurt, and that someone actually acting upon that command, and you get joy. That's what Joffrey was like. So instead of fucking the hot horse, he would rather kill them. So yeah.
Try to find this fucking chick.
Do you remember what she looks like, or
Me.
are you looking on IMDb or something?
Yeah, I'm just trying to find people I recognize. Fuck. Wait, who did I say already?
I don't know how you said like for sure, but you brought up Shay and you brought up someone else. I think maybe not, but you brought up Shay.
Okay,
Oh,
no.
well,
Yeah,
the
it was Marjorie. I
Marjorie.
think I picked Marjorie
Yeah.
and two other chicks.
I don't know, like even with Shay, I like her accent, so I would even go for her like because of that. I think
Oh,
she's always a sleeper when people talk about the hot ones from. I think people just don't like her because she's. Most people hate her as a person. But it's like if we're talking about who's hotter, it's like come on now.
okay, yeah, the chick that got Rob killed.
Yes, that's yes, her. Holy fuck, dude, that's who it was.
Yeah, so I pick her.
Yeah, so I would pick her instead of
Commentary.
Ramsey's girl. I knew there was one. Yeah, those are my three. I wouldn't even debate those or change them.
Uh, fuck, these are getting good.
Going on with Iran, I think that we are probably, respectfully, not going to watch the Small Business Summit. We're going to go through this Iran segment because, folks, you know, it's almost like when I was gone this weekend. I was gone for 4 days. It's kind of a slow news weekend. Did you notice that? Not really a whole lot happened. We're back on Monday, and now everything's going to hell.
The thing is, I feel like
We're gonna break
no
down
matter
all
what
of that.
three you
It's almost,
choose,
it's almost like they were all
like it's hard to have a
Iranians,
bad
everybody
three.
around the world, Trump, the Democrats.
Like I'd say
They were
whether
all
you hate
respectful. They
the
said, okay,
characters
listen,
or not, like
Matt Morris
Sansa,
is
you
on
might hate Sansa,
vacation.
but
He's not doing the
she's
show.
still
Okay, we're not going to do anything.
attractive.
No news, nothing crazy. Matt Morris
Cersei,
is back on Monday.
before
Okay,
she gets her
let it
hair
rip.
cut, I'd
And
still
here we
hit.
are, and man, boy,
Yeah.
Jojen Reed's
I'll tell
sister,
you
I'd
what.
hit.
They're letting it rip. Everybody's letting it rip.
It's a bunch of
big Monday.
whores.
Matt, where is your fireplace? You know what?
Nice.
Good question. I had
What?
to there. What do you
No,
mean?
I just
Hey,
said
what do you mean? Where's
nice.
my fire?
Uh,
Right there. What do you mean? Where's my fire?
Oh
It's right
shit,
next
like
to my
another
window.
one, like she's
My real
barely in the
fireplace
show,
is
and
right
she's a
next to my
past
real
character, but
plants,
Liana,
and
I'd,
it's right next to my real window.
her dude,
So,
but like,
hey,
Oh, yeah.
everything is all good. No,
she's got nice
I had
lips.
to restart my computer this morning. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, what do you say we go ahead and talk about what is perhaps
Oh,
the
and
story of the
Missandei.
day? Everyone's going crazy about this, rightfully
Right.
so.
If you have her in
That's
your,
the chick who gets her head cut off.
yeah, if you have her in your fucking, at least Missandei in Game of Thrones, when she was in Fast and Furious, she didn't look as good, but season, what, 2 or 3
Let's go ahead and get into
of Game of Thrones is pretty peak.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have some breaking news this morning. Much to absolutely
For me, it's easy, but
the Iranian regime
I
has just
definitely
violated
understand
the
people that wouldn't be,
ongoing
have a hard time
firing
picking.
numerous waves of ballistic missiles and God knows what else at the United Arab Emirates across the Persian Gulf. And so now President Trump, well, he is threatening, and I quote, to blow them off the face of the earth. And also, what's more, it seems as if the Arab Gulf nations, the United Arab Emirates, and perhaps some others, are actually gearing up on their own to officially declare war on the Iranian regime. But so now, before we really get into all of this, here's the big question. Why did the Iranian regime this morning violate the ceasefire? Why now, after 2 weeks of inaction? Well, as a little bit of a spoiler here, everything that has just happened is all a part of yet another one of President Trump's master plans. And if you will allow me, we're going to go ahead and break all of it down. Now, to really make sense of this entire situation, we need to look at what President Trump posted on
You
Truth
know, I
Social
think I'm gonna go a bit out there on this one,
yesterday afternoon. It's going to put all of this
but
into proper context.
so yeah, I totally
As
understand
President
if,
Trump said
people are like, yeah,
yesterday, he said
okay,
this,
that's a weird
countries
pick,
from
but dude,
all over the
I think I
world,
might go
all
with
of which
OSHA.
are, almost all of which are
I think she could fuck me good, dude.
Wait, is that Theon's sister?
No, the Wildling girl.
Oh shit. Oh fuck yeah, her too. Yeah, no. That's a
Yeah,
good pick. No, yeah.
I think she looks nice. Like,
Yeah,
she's got a
no,
nice face.
she's beautiful. She's in Harry Potter as well. She's really nice
Yeah.
looking. They make her look like a fucking homeless person that lives in the woods, and she's still hot.
Yeah.
That proves that she's
That's
actually
probably why I was just like, yeah, like people would be like, whoa, what the fuck? But she's a wildling. Like,
That's
she's
another
meant to
one that I
look like
forgot
that.
too. That's a good one.
He starts to make to the curb, then he says,
Yeah, when she takes off her clothes, when she's trying to like seduce Theon, she looks nice.
I think maybe one reason why, and this is probably me, like my bias, is her accent is, I would say, sort of like the accent she uses in the show. I don't think it's her real accent. It's pretty, like, when I think of that accent, I think of a dude having that accent. So maybe that's why.
Mm.
But that's the only thing I could think of.
not involved in the Middle Eastern dispute going on so visibly and violently for all to see, have asked the United States if we could help free up their ships, which are locked up in the Strait of Hormuz, on something which they have absolutely nothing to do with. They are merely neutral and innocent bystanders. For the good of Iran, for the Middle East, and for the United States, we have told these
I guess
countries
let's
that
do
we will guide their ships
House of the Dragon,
safely out
which
of
might
these
be
restricted
a little
waterways
harder
so that they can
because there's not
freely
as
and
many.
legally get on with their business. Again, these are
Do you have a
ships
three?
from parts of the world that are not in any way involved with that which is currently taking place in the Middle East. I have told my representatives to inform them that we will use best efforts to get their ships
I feel
and
like
their
there was
crews
one super.
Dog.
safely
What?
out of the Strait of Hormuz.
Dog, look at what I sent you on
They said that they will
Discord.
not be returning until the area becomes safe for navigation and everything else. This process, which we're
Yeah.
calling Project Freedom, will
Damn,
begin
dude.
Monday morning.
That's
United
shit.
States officials. Middle Eastern
Yeah.
countries. I am fully aware that my representatives are having very positive discussions with the country of Iran, and that these discussions could lead to something very positive for all. The ship movement is merely meant to free up people,
I
companies, and
feel like
countries that have
feel like I
done
may have tried
absolutely
to
nothing
look her
wrong.
up on there, but I don't
They are victims of
remember finding
circumstance.
anything, so maybe I didn't
Wrong
actually
place,
look.
wrong time. This is a humanitarian gesture on behalf of the United States of America. Middle Eastern countries, but in particular, the country of Iran. Many of these ships are running low on food and everything else necessary for large-scale crews to stay on board in a healthy and sanitary manner.
She's a whore
I
in
think it would
real
go a long way to
life.
Yeah,
show
dude, that's actually
goodwill
crazy.
on behalf of all of those who have been fighting so strong.
That's
Strenuously
crazy.
over the last couple of months. If in any way
You want me to put
Who would I
this
pick from
humanitarian
House of
process is
Dragon?
interfered with, that interference will unfortunately have to be dealt with forcefully.
I think I'll need clarification
Very
on
much
the
for your attention to this matter. Now,
how the question
ladies
works.
and gentlemen, we have a lot to talk about here.
Like what?
It was this very morning that
If I say Allison, do I get both, or do I need to pick both as
officially
counts as two?
Take a look at this.
No, you can choose young or old.
But not young and old?
Well, I feel like it should count as two people.
Two people. Okay.
Food and supplies and are merely neutral bystanders in this whole thing.
Because I'd still be tempted to say two. So I feel like if I have those two and then have the third one, I would still be happy, because I've always thought the older one was hot.
That's right.
Even when she played a character that had cancer, I was like, damn, she still looks nice.
Companies and countries have done absolutely nothing wrong. They are victims of circumstance. This is a humanitarian gesture on behalf of the U.S., Middle Eastern countries, but in particular, the country of Iran.
Folks, President Trump gave the Iranian regime a chance to chip in to this and help out with this humanitarian effort. He gave them a softball to prove that they are perhaps good people, or at least willing to be helpful in this way.
The president warned Iran that any interference with this humanitarian mission will be, quote, dealt with forcefully. CENTCOM says guided missile destroyers over 100 land and sea-based aircraft.
There's Talia. She looks pretty nice.
Project Freedom is described as a coordination and information sharing effort to guide these ships safely.
Okay, so okay, so I'm gonna go with those two, and then I'll pick my, and then I think I'm gonna choose either the chick that Aegon kind of whatever diddles or whatever.
The Strait of Hormuz and the Persian Gulf would not be managed by Trump's delusional posts. No one would believe blame.
I think Corliss's daughters don't look as good in real life, so I'm probably just gonna go her, Diana or some shit.
South of where traffic usually transits in the Strait of Hormuz. The UK warns that the security level, though, remains critical in the strait. Yesterday, an oil tanker was attacked, hit by unknown projectiles north of the UAE. And just before that, a cargo ship was attacked by multiple small boats near the coast of Iran. All crews are safe. Meanwhile, in assigned diplomatic negotiations may be heading in the right direction with Iran, the U.S. returned a seized Iranian container ship, the Tuska, back to Iran. Its 22 crew members are in Pakistan. They're being flown to Iran today. Pakistan, which has been mediating the negotiations between the U.S. and Iran, calls this a confidence-building measure
No,
amid
maybe
these
not. No, I changed
negotiations.
my
And
mind on
perhaps
that.
another good sign,
I'll just
guys,
go.
President Trump
Probably just go
last night at the
Talia.
White House was asked by reporters and shouted questions. How are negotiations going?
I'll do young Renera, young Allison.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you just heard it there.
Yeah, somebody else, I
Just
guess.
yesterday, President Trump ordered the release of 22 Iranian.
Hey man, just look at it this way. It's, see how when you get the hot one young, you have young hot and old hot. Even if you don't like the old one as much, they're still both good looking. So it's like you just get a massive dub all the way.
As President Trump's humanitarian mission began to unfold this Monday morning, the Iranian regime started firing ballistic missiles. Really just further proving
I think I'll take young Allison, young Renera, and then
they absolutely cannot be trusted.
Damon's mom
Let's go ahead
or whatever.
and break it all down.
Oh my. Okay, yeah, that's the third. She's the hottest chick in the show, I think. She might be like one of the hottest in the entire fucking series, like Game of Thrones included. Yes,
while one ballistic missile from Iran fell into the sea. The Iranian state propaganda news outlet Tasnim News actually released footage of themselves.
Yeah, she would actually be my number one for sure. I forgot about her. I found her on. I either tried to find her on social media. She basically has none. Like she might have a Twitter. I think I may have found it, but other than that, I don't think she's on anything at all, like Instagram or anything.
So not only did they fire the missiles, but publicly they're sort of flexing. They're bragging about it. They're releasing footage of it. We have this also. Just in, United Arab Emirates air defenses are currently intercepting incoming Iranian missiles.
Hey man, if I'm a Targaryen and she looks like that, dude, fuck.
This morning. An Iranian port in
That's crazy.
I'm sorry, an Emirati port. The Emirati port, the Fujairah oil port, was actually struck by one of these Iranian ballistic missiles. You can see fire off in the distance. This is an oil port. Very explosive. The U.S., in response this morning, announced that it has eliminated 6 different Iranian small boaters that were attempting to interfere with commercial shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. So the Iranians this morning, as President Trump's humanitarian mission was unfolding to escort these starving ships out, the crew members are starving. I don't know. Not looking good. He tries to get him out of there. Listen, everybody, humanitarian endeavor. Iran starts firing ballistic missiles and drones, and they send out small little speedboats to try to attack these ships, maybe attach explosives to the outside of the hull. I don't know what. No, in total, ladies and gentlemen, 2 Emirati ships have been reportedly hit and are currently on fire, perhaps. That's a little bit up in the air. The Emirati Fujairah oil port was hit. You just saw a photo of that. And as of this moment, the Iranians have fired 6 individual different ballistic missiles. One time, they fired missile volley. 6 times consecutively, back to back. One wasn't enough. 6 different volleys consisting of numerous missiles each time, on top of the drones and the speedboats, towards the United Arab Emirates, predominantly violating the ongoing ceasefire. Now, President Trump this morning, in response, publicly said this. He said, Iran has taken some shots at unrelated nations with respect to the ship movement, Project Freedom, including a South Korean cargo ship. Perhaps it's time for South Korea to come and join the mission. We've shot down 7 small Iranian boats, or as they like to call them, fast boats. It's all they have left. Other than the South Korean ship, there has been at this moment no damage going through the strait. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth and Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff Dan Kane will have a news conference tomorrow morning. So President Trump, in response to all of this, is saying actually it was only one South Korean ship who received fire. Maybe South Korea should join us in our endeavor to get this Strait of Hormuz reopened. Now, he doesn't mention, he talks about the vessels in the Hormuz. He doesn't mention the damage the United Arab Emirates took this morning And we do know that they took damage. We've got photos and confirmations from the Emirati government. So we know that that happened. Take a listen to this, because Trey Yingst from Fox News, following all of this, actually had an on-phone conversation with President Trump.
I spoke with President Trump for 20 minutes about the situation with Iran. He talked about Project Freedom and the U.S. efforts to guide vessels through the Strait of Hormuz, issuing a new warning to the Iranian regime, saying if the Iranians try to target U.S. ships in this area, they will be, quote, blown off the face of the earth. Remember, this was a project implemented by the Americans overnight to assist the hundreds of vessels that are currently trapped in the Persian Gulf. We're talking about more than 20,000 sailors. And the president told Fox he's doing this for humanity. Some of these sailors were running out of food and supplies on these vessels due to the Iranian threats that are ongoing in this area. And again, the president saying that if U.S. ships in the region are targeted, the Iranians will be blown off the face of the earth. Now, I also asked President Trump about the possibility of negotiations with Iran succeeding. He said the Iranians are being far more malleable than they were being in the past, showing flexibility given the U.S. pressure that continues as part of the American blockade of Iranian ports. President Trump called that blockade the greatest military maneuver in history. As it relates to the combat preparations that continue across the region, President Trump understands there are two paths here. The Iranians either make a good faith deal or ultimately combat operations could resume. And President Trump told Fox News that right now they have bases all over the world. There are American preparations underway. He said they're all stocked with equipment and we can use all of that stuff. And if he needs it, he will use it. But the headline here, Sandra, the president issuing a new warning to the Iranian regime if they do fire on U.S. vessels in the Persian Gulf or near the Strait of Hormuz.
Ladies and gentlemen, Trump says he will blow them off the face of the earth if they do so much as even scratch any of our naval vessels, any of our military assets in the region at all. He will blow them off the face of the earth, he says. And we can quickly talk about this reset, this ceasefire, really more of a reset for the United States. President Trump has taken the last 2 weeks during the ceasefire to reload, restock, refuel. Now I believe...
All right, I'll be back. I should play League of Legends.
Career groups in the region, all of our bases, all of our interceptors, everything, restock, refuel, ready to go. Now, let me ask a question. Who do you think has a stronger or faster capacity to restock, refuel, reload, reset? The Iranian regime, or what's left of it, or the United States military? You guys have seen the U.S. Stratotankers flying across Europe, flying in resources, missiles, bombs, whatever else, right? I think that the United States benefits more from a 2-week ceasefire or reset more than the Iranian regime does. They haven't got a whole lot left. And I think we know that. President Trump knows that, which is why he's saying if they mess around, if they fall, then they are going to foe. Breaking news here just in. The United Arab Emirates, this is coming from the Emirati government, they expect the U.S. and Israel to continue striking Iran within the next 24 hours. This is coming from the Emirates. Well, they might be right. The Iranians have officially, very aggressively, okay, they
Just a
have
reminder of
violated this ceasefire. Report, the UAE
they're going
is now allegedly set to declare war themselves on Iran. They, the United Arab Emirates, they are expected to lead an Arab
to the
coalition
World War II memorial.
to help overthrow the Iranian regime within the next 24 hours. Folks, you can take this, let's call this word on the block. Word on the block right now, and who knows, this could go either way. Word on the block is that U.S., Israel, and an Arab coalition, in response to the Iranian regime breaking the ceasefire, all of us were going to get together and we didn't break it, they broke the ceasefire. What's more, President Trump just said this a moment ago. Iran has just made a very big mistake. The biggest mistake
It's not your
in
favorite
its
thing, Doug.
entire
Hibbert-Shizer.
history.
Horse
That's
dog.
coming from President Trump within the last
A bit of
45 minutes.
shizer.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think President Trump is probably right. President Trump, really for the last 14 months, since stepping back into the White House,
Oh.
has tried to negotiate in good faith, and let the Iranians know exactly what we want or demand of them. We've sent out negotiation teams time and time and time and time again, God knows how many times. We've sent out in person Kushner, Witkoff, our own vice president, to go and negotiate with them in good faith, in all sincerity. Say, listen, the nuclear thing, you got to shut it down. Let's wrap this up. We'd rather work with you guys, disarm, shut down the nuclear program. We can help you become an economic powerhouse. We'll lift the sanctions. You can make a lot of money. Time and time again, they have effectively spit in our face and said, no, we're not going to do that. We'd rather keep on firing missiles. This here today, the breaking of this ceasefire, might just be the straw that broke the camel's back. Time will tell, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a very eventful 24 hours. But there's one thing we can be certain of going forward. President Trump is going to put America first. Ladies and gentlemen, there it is. Ladies and gentlemen, I told you, listen, we had one hell of a show. I'll tell you something here. I said we are back full force, 7 days a week. I'm back from my 4-day-long trip.
Wonder if I should rewatch the show before this new season comes out.
Depending on what happens tonight or over the next couple hours, we might even do an evening.
It wouldn't take you long.
All hell breaks loose if the U.S. starts dropping bombs again. If this entire conflict breaks out, we might even go live again this evening. Now, folks, at this point in today's show, what I would love to do is take a look at some Rumble rants and take a look at some super chats. I want to see what you folks have to say about all of this. Thank you all very much for being here today. Like, subscribe, you know the whole rigmarole. Let me take a look at what you folks have to say. Before I almost forgot, listen, you can tell I'm a little bit rusty. I need to put this thing on. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the first Rumble rant of the day, this is from RW. This is a $100 super chat. Rumble rant. He says, welcome home, Matt. I missed the show. Enjoy. I know here you will get every cent. That's true. Thank you very much, Mr. Q, Keepers of Secrets. I appreciate that. Man, I am happy to be back. You know, it's nice. You got to spend time with the family. You got to take a trip. It's your daughter's birthday. You know how it is. I might be mentally ill. I love to. I'm just a workaholic. For me, people say, Matt, you got to take a break. For me, listen, if I take a break, if I stop working, if I stop being productive, that is when I go crazy. I have to be plugging away on something. So it was good. It was a good trip. I was happy to do it. But man, between you and me, I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be plugging away again. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I need to pull up the YouTube super chats here. Pull up the old YouTube super chats. It's my first time. Oh wow! Did you guys see the Met Gala is today? Wow, we gotta watch the Met Gala. No, we don't. No, we don't. I'll tell you something. We were at Disneyland. Okay, we had 3 full.
Here, Doug. If you're listening to the stream, this guy plays the Blade Runner love theme on guitar. It's pretty good. I want to try to learn that. Wonder where he got the tabs from, though. So I asked him, can I find tabs for it? He said, sorry, I don't know. Brother, you're watching something on your screen because you're fucking reading the music. Fucking give it to us.
Fucking does this shit, dude.
Hey, you start to make the big cats. God, what a riding.
Why does the next weight on cable lateral raises feel so damn heavy, and what's the best way to progress them for bigger side delts? Well, it mostly comes down to simple math. Adding 5 pounds to a 100-pound overhead press is only a 5% increase, but on a lateral raise where you might only be using 20 pounds, that's now a 25% jump. Most people just power
Please
through
stop
it with
taking
force 4 or
creatine
stall it
if-
entirely, but here's what you should actually
Full days at Disneyland. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's show. My name is Matt Morris. We are live right now on YouTube, as well as on Rumble, as well as on Twitch at Matt Morris TV. Boy, howdy, folks, do we have a hell of a show ahead of us today. I kid you not, I have been prepping for 5 hours to get today's show ready because we have a lot to talk about today. Ladies and gentlemen, it seems as if a certain Democrat senator from the great state
Dude,
of
imagine if they had a fucking Blade Runner game and you could just free roam. Like, I want to do that right now.
Yep.
Like,
Be
how
pretty
has no
sick.
one thought of that, dude? Did we talk about this? Fucking... If CD Projekt Red didn't fuck it up, they could do an actual Blade Runner game.
Yeah. The closest thing is Cyberpunk right now, but it's not fucking Blade Runner. Oh.
Because one thing that Vangelis, the guy who made the music, what he did was he produced the music to where sometimes you don't know whether the sound that you're hearing is from the environment or the music, and I feel like you could do that perfectly with the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pennsylvania is actually getting ready to abandon the Democrat Party altogether and then become a Republican. Seriously, today we are going to break all of it down.
Fuck,
Oh my god. Miranda.
Stanley, don't even. You don't want no smoke with us, nigga.
No, chunkers, huh?
Now, pertaining to the 2026 midterms, the GOP continues to surge. National support for the GOP continues to skyrocket. The Democrats, they continue to panic, and now the Democrats are looking for heads to roll So to speak, really, as of this morning, the progressive infighting has reached a fever pitch. I'll show you what I mean. We have also just
You know what's interesting?
massive
And I've experienced this before with dog owners.
legal victory in one
If
of
a
the
dog is really
Democrats'
fat, like to where it's obese and
stronghold
unhealthy,
states. And as it
they
relates
either
to all
don't
of this,
care or
we
they
also
say,
have
"Oh,
some
it's
very
so cute."
curious news this morning about the current
Yeah,
status of
they say
the
it's cute, dude.
Dude, they say it's
America
cute,
Act, with
but
President Trump himself speaking
they'll all,
about the
but
Save America Act
people that where it's
directly
not their dog or they
earlier
don't
this
see
month.
it in person,
And
they'll call it
finally,
animal abuse.
the
Because
IRGC
obviously it is. If
over
you're,
in
if
Iran
you control how
just
much your dog
tried
eats,
to
so
bait
like if it's overweight
and
or
entrap,
super underweight, like to where it's
really
unhealthy,
entrap
it's animal abuse.
President Trump
Um,
over the
but they
last
don't say that
24
about
hours.
people
But not only did President Trump
that are like
not
800
walk
pounds.
into their
It's called
trap,
body shaming if you
but
do
he
that,
actually
which is kind of
flipped
retarded.
back on them, and now it is the IRGC who have found themselves entrapped. So, ladies
Yeah,
and
nobody's
gentlemen,
looked at a fat person and said, "Yeah, that's cute."
we have a lot to talk about today. Do me a favor, make sure
True,
to
but
hit that
they'll
like
say that you're
button.
body shaming
Make sure
people,
to hit that subscribe button. Thank you all
right?
for being here, folks. What do you say we
Even
get
if you're
right into the news and
correct.
talk about what is going on
If you're fucking
over in Pennsylvania?
correct.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have just gotten some absolutely stunning breaking news. You see, Democrat Senator John Fetterman is actually currently in the process of, I kid you not, switching political parties, ultimately abandoning the Democrats altogether. And you know what? President Trump himself is actually directly involved in helping make this entire situation happen. Seriously, what do you say we go ahead and break it all down? Now, first off, take a look at this. Per Politico this morning, President Trump has personally offered Fetterman his patented total and complete endorsement plus a financial windfall to the Pennsylvania senator if he becomes a Republican. A handful of Senate Republicans are also gently feeling out Fetterman and responding to his concerns over the prospect of defecting from the Democrat Party. If Fetterman does flip, according to officials who were given anonymity to talk about these very sensitive matters, it will be thanks in large part to his deepening friendship with a pair of senators and their high-profile spouses. Senator Dave McCormick, who's a Republican from Pennsylvania, and his wife Dina, and also Senator Katie Britt, Republican, and her husband Wesley, all of them are friends. And so it's President Trump's offer, I'll endorse you, the Republican Party can financially support you, on top of not only President Trump's offer, but these more personal, maybe familial friendly ties. Hey, we're all friends. What's more, we have another report here, Politico. There is an intense effort currently underway by Republicans to flip Senator John Fetterman into becoming a Republican. Listen to this. Fetterman told Politico on Friday, just a couple days ago, that he's planning on staying a Democrat, but when a senior Republican recently brought up the idea of becoming an independent to Fetterman, he absorbed the suggestion and didn't either embrace or reject.
You know that fucking
notion, the overture here.
Mandalorian and
So
Grogu movies coming out?
What we might see is Fetterman
I
maybe
don't know.
not become a Republican all the way, but become
People
an
are
independent
fucking
and then
retarded,
caucus
dude.
with the Republicans.
Nice.
Holy shit,
Something
man.
to keep in mind here.
This
Fetterman
sound like an
isn't
angry white
actually up
cis
for
male,
re-election
dog.
until 2028, meaning he's actually safe throughout this upcoming 2026
When you say that, when
midterm election cycle.
you're reacting to what I said, that all that means to me is an intelligent, logical person that isn't a retard.
Upcoming midterms. Is there a blue wave? Is there a red wave? What happens here? Then he will make his decision following the 2026 midterms. That's my own personal speculation, but very clearly, this much is a known fact. Fetterman is not happy with the Democrat Party. In fact, I've got something I want to show you. Take a listen, take a look at what Fetterman had to say about the Democrat Party literally just yesterday afternoon. He said this: Fetterman is now warning of a communist takeover of the Democrat Party. The quote is this, quote, "But the main race isn't an outlier. Socialist and far-left mayors already run some of America's biggest cities." He said that lamentingly, begrudgingly. Fetterman isn't happy about it. He's saying the far left, the socialists, the communists have taken over the Democrat Party. Let me ask all of you in the live audience here, is Fetterman correct about that? Well, you know what? As far as my opinion goes, he's absolutely right. I think Fetterman is right about that. The Democrat Party of 2026 ain't your grandpapa's Democrat Party, sticking up for the middle-class blue-collar worker, or so they used to claim. No, that party is long gone. That Democrat Party is long gone, if it ever even actually existed. No, these days, the Democrats are pretty much nothing more than a bunch of open-border, anti-American communists, which is why, actually, guess what? The Democrat Party isn't actually a big fan of Fetterman either. That dislike is mutual. It goes both ways. Fetterman is having some problems with the Democrats, and the Democrats are having some problems with Fetterman. And the reason why is because Fetterman is not blindly going along with all of their communist, anti-American plans. In fact, I've got something I want you all to take a look at. Folks, check this out right here.
Part of a larger story, Mr. Berman. I would just say that John Fetterman is doing as well with Pennsylvania Democrats as the New York Giants are as liked in the state of Pennsylvania, or the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. I mean, just look at this. Among Pennsylvania Democrats and net approval of Fetterman, back in 2023, he was a Democrat liberal darling. He was at plus 68 points. Look at how low he has fallen down to negative 40 points. He's down there with the Titanic.
Wow.
Among Democrats in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And, you know, to put a comparison point on, you know, we always talk about how Chuck Schumer is not well liked by the Democratic base nationwide. Chuck Schumer has a net popularity rating of about -2 points. He is 38 points more popular than John Fetterman is with Pennsylvania Democrats. And I was also looking at Kristen Sinema, who, of course, ended up leaving the Democratic Party in Arizona. She was considerably more popular.
You still get headaches?
Than John Fetterman is at -40 points.
Real quick, folks.
Yeah.
What does this mean before we keep on watching this here? John Fetterman,
Why wouldn't I? Well,
who's a Democrat right
what
now.
is this
Maybe
gonna
he's a
stop
dino.
for me?
A Democrat in name only. We've got rhinos. Maybe he's a dino. Fetterman is right now perhaps the single least popular Democrat amongst Democrat voters. And you know what? Given how insane the Democrat Party and the average Democrat voter has become, maybe that's not a bad thing. Maybe he should come on over. Maybe he should switch sides to the side that is sane, rational, and actually, I don't know, cares about the well-being of this country.
Is this a 108-point swing?
This is an 108-point swing. Very good mathematics here.
I was honestly thinking, is that even possible? All right, how does this compare to other? He faces a primary. If he wants to run again, you know, he faces an election in 2 years. If he runs in a Democratic primary, how have senators who lost their primaries, how does their whole situation compare to this?
I would just know John was like off on the screen going, what, wait a minute, 108-point swing. You never see anything like that, but my goodness gracious. I mean, just take a look here. Okay, 2,000 senators' own party net ratings about when they lost a primary. Bob Smith plus 15, Arlen Specter plus 13. Of course, he switched parties to Democrats. It didn't work for him from Republican. Plus 6, Joe Lieberman. Dick Lugar was at 0 points. Lisa Murkowski was at -15 points. All of these were considerably more popular than John Fetterman is right now at -40 points. He is below the lowest, the ones who actually got beat in a primary. There is no historical analog to this. That is how unpopular John Fetterman is with Pennsylvania Democrats. There is basically no doubt in my mind that Fetterman decides to run for re-election as a Democrat. He will face a primary challenge, and it will be a very competitive one.
So Fetterman says that Democrats are suffering from what he calls Trump derangement syndrome. Is that a compelling argument to make among the voters there?
No. I mean, that is the last thing the Democrats want to hear. I mean, look at this. Lowest approval among Dems at this point in term 2. Donald Trump has just a 4-point.
So am I meant to, like, improve my skills or hire a skill at the end of the day when I'm fucking tired after
bottom
working.
line is this: John Fetterman, when you look
Yeah,
at his
pretty
net
much.
popularity rating at minus 40 points, he's on a completely other planet from Chuck Schumer, who is also unpopular, and he's on a different galaxy entirely from other incumbents who actually lost re-election.
The way that people make it seem like to be successful, you have to basically kill yourself for like 10 years straight, never sleep, punish yourself basically. That's what they make it sound like.
Here's the situation. In all likelihood, if Fetterman
Which I can
stays loyal
call
to
bullshit,
Democrats,
but
if he remains Democrat, he'll just end up losing his seat and getting replaced by some radically progressive member of the far left. The Democrats have no loyalty. They will replace him because he's incredibly unpopular, because he's not
My favorite
as
activity
insane
is
as the rest
lying
of them.
down.
So you know what? Hey, it might just be good political strategy for Fetterman as
an
an
old
individual.
person will be like, oh, that's what I said when I was 60 years old. Why, you're not even 30. It's like, yeah, well,
Really have any future political prospects with the Democrats.
you had it better than we did,
As
buddy.
many of you might remember, this
Fuck, if it's
wouldn't
taking you to
actually be the
fucking
first time
60
in
years old to
recent
feel like that, then
history
you're
that a
already
sitting
lucky.
senator has flipped parties. The
Yeah, I'm
Democrats
wondering what the
actually
fuck
flipped
this
Republican
generation
senators in
is gonna
both
look like when
2001
they're old.
and
Like if they're
2009,
already
as some of you might remember.
feeling like they're
In fact,
drained of life
specifically, the
or
flip in
whatever.
2009, Republican becoming Democrat,
I wonder what the fuck
is
that
actually
looks
how the
like
Democrats
later on in
ended up
life.
getting the 60th and final vote in the Senate that they needed to ultimately pass Obamacare. So, ladies and gentlemen, you know, I'll be totally
Oh,
candid and
fuck,
honest here.
man.
I don't have 100% trust of Fetterman. I'm not a massive Fetterman fan.
Dog, it's your bedtime. Go to sleep.
But what I will say, from a standpoint
Pretty
of
much.
good political strategy, is it a good thing if he leaves the Democrats? If the Democrats have one less vote in the Senate, and then maybe some of the time he votes with us? Well, you never know when you might need an extra vote.
Oh.
As far as I'm concerned, anything we can do to weaken the opposition,
You crack your back
maybe
today, dog?
strengthen ourselves a little bit in the process.
No, I think I did
So it
yesterday or
looks
the
like
day
we put
before.
America first.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, there is our big, massive John Fetterman news today. We might be gaining a senator or at a
After we cook,
Now, I'll tell you something. I see some people in the live audience are saying
Nice.
Rubio has just gone
What the
live.
fuck was
We are
that,
not gonna
dude?
watch that. We are doing our show. Just for like future reference, generally speaking, if we're here
Goat
doing
McGoat.
our scheduled daily broadcast, we're just gonna do our broadcast, whatever Rubio has to say. Maybe we'll
You know, they say
we are going to continue on with our
a man
show.
is meant to
So that's
channel
the
his
latest. Thank you for the
sexual
heads up,
energy
though.
into something
We've got our own
productive.
show to do. You should tell those Rubio guys to come over here and watch our show. They should come over
We're too
here.
busy
How about
fucking
that? No, thank you very
busting
much.
nuts, dude.
Ladies and
That's our
gentlemen,
problem.
we have another big update talking about midterms. I want to talk about that now.
If you
Do me a
didn't
favor,
fucking bust
hit
nuts
subscribe
a couple days ago,
because
your
we have
back would feel a lot better today.
4 days ago. My back would feel better, yeah, dude. That's such a good point, dude.
Ladies and gentlemen,
They say your joints, they feel better. Something with the, you know, the nutrients that's wasted when you're just fucking giving it out like that.
Support for the GOP, the Republicans,
It gets recycled into the body.
and the Democrats plan to rig.
But no, I guess this fucking faggot is scared of a little wet dream, dude.
Yeah,
Scared of a
dude,
fucking
it's
monster that doesn't
fucking-
exist.
It's fucking annoying, dude.
Left-wing news outlet Reuters released a very
Gotta change my sheets, gotta fucking shower, and then I'm wide awake at fucking 6 or 7 in the morning before I was about to actually wake up. Sometimes 3, sometimes 5. It's fucking retarded, dude.
This is what that article looks like.
I'm not gonna.
How redistricting and the Supreme Court have cut voters out of the U.S. House races. Now, beyond that, this well-known left-wing political theorist added this. He said, a lack of competitive races means that control of the House of Representatives will likely be determined in November's midterm election by fewer than 10% of Americans, with the winners in most districts all but assured before a single ballot is cast. This is coming from a political left-wing political theorist responding to this left-wing article. So folks, what's going on here? This is pretty much just a full-on admission from the Democrats, 6 months ahead of midterms, that they actually expect to lose midterms because of all of the big bad Republicans' redistricting efforts. And of course, the narrative that the Democrats have already chosen to run with is that this is a threat to democracy. Have you heard that before? The Republicans
Damn,
redistricting.
dog, I
This is a
got
threat to
disconnected.
democracy.
Whoa, what the fuck is wrong with your internet, brother?
Into the mind of Americans, because they're already expecting a loss.
What
Now,
were you saying, dog?
to which
I asked what's wrong with your fucking internet, dog.
by saying this.
Oh, like what'd you say before I got disconnected?
I don't know. What was I saying? I don't think I spoke for a while.
Are you fucking retarded? Are you that fucking retarded you can't remember?
Well, I don't think I was saying anything.
You fucking retard?
Fucking gay faggot.
For the Democrats. So Stephen Miller is saying, listen, when the Republicans undo all of the damage, all of the racial
A gay faggot.
districts and voter fraud and flawed censuses that
So what you're saying is I'm straight.
when we undo that, that is not a threat to democracy. We are
Nah, there's, you know how negatives times negatives make positives, dog?
So
You're
a
saying
dumb,
I'm a gay faggot? I'm a gay,
means it's a
gay
smart person
faggot, dog.
that isn't retarded? Yeah, dude.
Nice.
The vote beyond recognition to try to maintain their advantage in the House elections. On top of it, let's not forget, Democrats rigged the 2020 census by including
It's like saying
illegal
degenerate
aliens.
whore. Does that mean
Remember,
that
they
she's not a
sued Donald
degenerate
Trump,
whore?
sued the administration. They fought tooth and nail to include illegal aliens in the census. 20 to 30 House Democrat seats wouldn't exist but for illegal aliens. Texas is taking
Yo,
just
dog,
corrective steps.
Ben Shapiro's show is about to collapse, dog.
This ocean of abuse by the corrupt Democrat Party, Sean.
It's absolutely right. Everything you just said is absolutely right, and we all know it to be true. But you know what? Speaking of the Democrats' attempt,
Guess there's a lot of anti-Semites out there, dog.
power inside of the U.S. House of Representatives, let's take a look at what's currently going on in Virginia. Because I'll tell you what, the Democrats right now.
Anti-Utens. Oh no.
Like I said, red alert. They're sounding the alarm. The Democrats are having a complete and total comprehensive meltdown.
Big and smiling.
We head towards midterms, we are
Smiling
6 months away. Folks, take a listen to what they have to say about this redistricting effort in Virginia on a left-wing podcast.
I will be getting some water.
Holy fuck. Holy fuck. Judens. Let's see.
You can hear me?
Yeah. He's dead. Holy fuck.
And what really triggered it, they said, was when the court didn't rule by Friday afternoon. The time they don't believe is on their side, and what apparently transpired over the weekend, and this person would know, they're in contact with what I'm about to say, is that the governor's staff is now snipping at the Senate Majority Leader and House Speaker, and they warned them last week not to ask them to review.
So, ladies and gentlemen, so now not only does it seem like Democrats' plan to hell in the great state of Virginia is going to fall through, the plan is not going to work, and that they have also wasted over $70 million attempting to gerrymander the living hell out of Virginia, but also now they're actually bickering amongst themselves, pointing fingers at each other, saying, well, you said this redistricting was legally sound, but it's actually not, maybe, and now it's going to get struck down in the Supreme Court, in the Virginia State Supreme Court. We spent $70 million and it was all for nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, they're ripping each other apart, like I said, in more ways than one. And so that is why this is currently happening. I want to show you something. People say, well, breaking news this morning that Republicans' chance to maintain control of the U.S. House of Representatives has now climbed up to 21%, up from a low of 14% a month ago. So we say, put your money where your mouth is. People are betting on this website, Kalshi, who's going to maintain control of the House of Representatives. A month ago, betting odds were 14%. That's pretty bad. That the Republicans would retain control of the House. Now, in the last month, because of everything that has transpired over the last month, the current state of the Virginia redistricting effort, we just spoke about that, the overturning of the voting of the racial gerrymandering component of the Voting Rights Act, the ongoing redistricting war, all the states are redistricting. Folks, the Republicans right now are skyrocketing. Still 21%. That's going to keep on going higher, folks. Listen, we're only 1/4 of the way up the mountain. It's going to keep on going higher. Trust me when I say that. And so I'll tell you what, folks, as we head towards midterms here, things are actually much closer than they appear, which is why it's so massively important that we all go out and vote going into midterms. We have seriously a chance to actually win this thing and retain control of the House. You know what? On that note, I want you to take a listen to this.
This is closer. Dude, it won't even fucking start the game properly, man.
Unhappy with the economy. They're unhappy with the Republicans.
My God.
They're also even
fucking 3 times and still can't even fucking do it. 70 milliseconds latency. It's 96. 108. The fucking faggot wrong is this goddamn game.
That's bad, or is it going to be a
they're
choice?
fucking turned off the stream.
Are the Republicans going to be able to make it a choice? If they do that, when I ask who do you have more confidence in to handle the economy, Trump and the Republicans or the Democrats in Congress, Trump and the Republicans win that 53 to 47.
Absolutely.
So, yes, people are really suffering in terms of the way they perceive the economy. and they're unhappy with the way it's going. But the Democrats haven't stepped up and shown that they will do a better job. And that's why I think this election, although usually the in party goes out, is still closer than most people think.
Yeah.
It is true. In American politics, generally
This is fucking
we
retarded.
have a Republican president, a Republican vice versa. And this goes back to 100 years. This is Democrats will lose the House if they have it. That's
What the f?
generally
Why is
speaking
this?
how
Why
it
is this even a
goes.
thing, dude?
However, we might be looking at an upset this midterm cycle.
Just open
Okay.
the
You know
fucking
what
game
perhaps
properly,
the
bro.
Democrats' biggest problem really is right now?
Like, holy
I think we all
fuck,
know what the
dude.
answer is. They
Never
have
had
just
that
moved
problem on
so
PlayStation or
far to
Xbox.
the left that not one
But you
single
fucking spend a
American
bunch of money on a
with a
PC
brain
and you
side of their
fucking
head
get screwed.
or with an ounce of common sense
Oh.
wants anything to do with them at this point. In fact, check this out.
The real question is, has the Democratic Party moved too far to the left to be acceptable?
Yeah,
Our
it's
candidates like
2026 and
Plattner,
gaming is going down now.
Mandami, and
How does
AOC
it
get
make
so
sense?
much
No one knows.
publicity. And obviously, Jeffries, in order to get the speakership himself, has moved so much more aggressively left in terms of the rhetoric.
There
Is
we
this
go,
party
like,
going to go
holy
into the
faggot
midterms
fuck.
and move back to the center, or is it going to really be seen as too far to the left? Right now, you can see in the polls that despite the fact that the voters are unhappy
Not
with
nice
the economy and the
language,
Republicans,
dog.
they obviously think that the Democratic Party has drifted too far to the left, and that's why it's coming out lower than the Republicans in virtually every poll.
Well, you know, Americans might have some reasonable complaints or issues with the Republican Party. Sure. I've got enough common sense to admit and acknowledge that the Republican Party is by no means perfect. Is the Republican Party? Just got done destroying this country for 4 years, and then prior to that, as you know, we had like 60 years worth of deep state national fraud helping destroy this country. So yes, while President Trump has in fact done a lot, a ton to help fix this country and get this country back on track over the last 4 years, no, President Trump has not. 60 years. Americans know that. We're smart. We are reasonable people. We all realize that it is going to take some time to clean up the absolutely massive mess that the Democrats made in the Obama era, and the Biden era, and that the deep state, the globalists made for 60 years prior to that. But so far, this is what we also acknowledge at the same time. So far, the last 14 months, when it comes to that White House, President Trump really has been solving these problems for the first time in some time. Right. This country is now moving again back in the right direction. We are finally putting ladies and gentlemen, these are looking very bad. You know what? It's one thing for us to say that we're all Trump supporters. Things are looking bad for the Democrats. It's another thing when the Democrats themselves are like, we're screwed. We need to have a new leader. We need to find a new leader. All of our plans are falling through. It's over. We're screwed. That is the current state of the Democrats right now. In this case, it's not even us saying, you guys are screwed. They are going, they themselves are like, yeah, we are screwed. So, let's keep this thing. Now, look at me. It's a show. Judicial Watch lawsuit has now forced the review and removal of some 800,000 ineligible voters from the
How was the filet mignon, dog?
Good. They were small and I still cooked them good, so it was nice.
Oh, that's good, dog.
Like if you're ever at SWTOR's, it's just beside the chicken section, so for $14. And it's pretty good. It's tender. It's a tenderloin with bacon wrapped around it, so it's really good price. They're small, but there's two of them, so
I think I've seen them at No-Frills before.
Wait, isn't that like the one that you bought and you showed me before?
Ineligible voters have now
Yeah, I think it's those ones.
Yeah, maybe it is.
But also, over 6 million ineligible voters have also been purged across the entire country. Folks, this is the type of stuff that we need to see if we actually want to start flipping a lot of these blue states red. And actually, as many of you might know, many of these blue states, Oregon included, incidentally, actually used to be red. They used to be red states before all of this far-left, Democrat-backed voter fraud started taking place across the country. Coincidence? Yeah, I think not. Red before the voter fraud, blue after the voter fraud. Coincidence? Like I said, I think not. But now, check this out, because we just had a very similar scenario play out over in the great state of Minnesota. Breaking news. As of this morning, America First Legal obtained new documents revealing that the state of Minnesota allowed thousands of voters to register under its vouching policy that allows people to register in the state of Minnesota without providing proof of residency, as long as a registered voter vouches for them. No proof. It's just an honor system. So, folks, just to break down exactly what system. So, folks, just to break down exactly what this means, let's say I've got 10 different people. Should I live in perhaps I don't know what the hell. I can bring them on down to the voter registration booth, to the office. I say, hey, listen, I'm registered, and I'm willing to vouch for all 10, maybe I've got 100, for all 100 of my friends here. Yeah, no, they live in the state, trust me, take my word for it. This is what's going on. We have this system, legal system, in America First Legal, I believe is they have discovered thousands of illegal aliens. That is absolutely. And so really, folks, all of this, everything that we have just discussed so far, is why the Save America Act is so absolute. We shouldn't even need to solve, we shouldn't even need to have to solve all of these voter fraud problems across the country. We should just prevent these problems from popping up or manifesting rapidly, which is exactly what the Save America Act is designed to do. That's exactly what the Save America Act is designed to do. Now, I want you to take a look at this. We have a new report out of Washington that very clearly shows the Save America Act would flip at least 2 states from Democrat to Republican. while shifting many other states on top of that further to the right. If this is the impact that voter ID and citizenship verification has, what does it tell you about Democrat voters? I'll tell you what the causes are. Voters are actually or perhaps dead people, people that don't even live in the state anymore. Who knows? Maybe your grandma, who died 27 years ago, maybe she's been voting Democrat all this time in Minnesota, Oregon, California. God knows what. Once again, I just want to really highlight this. If the Save America Act were to get passed in the Senate, it's already been passed if it successfully makes its way through the Senate, that leaves maybe even more states that are currently owned and operated by Democrats. Really makes you think. But it's because of the land that's not persuasive. It's because the land is the Senate that has the Save America. So that now, the betting odds are betting odds pertaining to who wins control of the Senate. Whereas just a couple months ago, as far as the betting markets were concerned, it was pretty much a surefire victory for the Republicans. I mean, hell, back in early April, just a month ago or less, Republicans were, as far as the betting markets were concerned, 57, 58% chance of winning the Senate. Now, 50-50. Now, President Trump actually chimed in on the Save America Act just earlier this morning, giving us a opinion.
cheat like that. They have to cheat. You know, the more innocent the Democrats. When you have men and women sports, when you have open borders, when you have transgender mutilization, what was it in those cases? Of the children, transgender mutilization everywhere. When you have policies like that, you have to cheat. It's the only way they can make it. And we should allow them to cheat. And we should terminate the filibuster because if they get the chance, they'll do it in the first paragraph.
So, folks, as usual, guess what? President Trump is absolutely correct. He's 100% spot on. Actual real Americans
oh, fucking shit.
This is why they're which is exactly what the years ago. So, folks, here's an idea. Why don't we go ahead and shut down all of this? Stop them from cheating. Stop them from rigging elections. Shut that down permanently. Let's go ahead and pass the Save America Act and actually start voting. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a at a minimum, even if the Save America Act does not get passed, we all know that President Trump is effectively because it doesn't have that same permanence that congressionally passed legislation does. Save America Act by nature of getting past the promises. As you all know, should the Democrats ever retake control of this country, God forbid, maybe we have President Newsom, God forbid, pardon my language there, in a couple of years. You think President Kamala, you think that they would respect President Trump's Save America executive order? They would shred it. Day one, the White House. That's why we need to save America. Here's what I will say. I am maintaining some because President Trump is still every single day talking about the Save America. He's still talking about it. He's posting on Truth Social. He's talking about it inside the Oval Office. We just saw it from the Washington Post. We must maintain some faith and some optimism that there is a chance we get this thing pushed through. If Trump had given up on the Save America Act, there's no shot. It's never going to make its way to the Senate. I feel like he wouldn't be talking about it. But he is. He's still applying that pressure every single day. So I still have a good glimmer of optimism. I might be able to push this thing back. I'm just totally done. I don't think we can. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are this one we're talking a little bit about what's being over in the Middle East. Have you guys heard about this place? It's called the Middle East. There's a country there called Iran. I don't know if you've heard about it. There's a lot of drama. There's always chaos and mayhem over there. It's crazy. So let's go ahead and break down what's going on. Ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor. Hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. I appreciate it. It's a lovely Tuesday. Ladies and gentlemen, the IRGC has just tried to bait and entrap President Trump over the Middle East. But not only did President Trump bait and entrap, he actually flipped it back on them. And I'll explain to you exactly what I mean. But first, we need to talk about something here that absolutely no one seems to be talking about in order to really understand what has just taken place with the IRGC. You see, the IRGC all the way over there actually desperately wants the United States to invade Iran. They want to bog us down in Afghanistan 2.0 or Vietnam 2.0. That's actually what they want because they know that that is the only way that they can seriously inflict any amount of damage on the United States. Damage to perhaps even this war. It would help the IRGC rally support and drum up support amongst the Iranian people. But more importantly, it would put American lives at risk. It would put American lives directly in the crosshairs of the IRGC. As you might have noticed, over the last 2 months that this conflict has been unfolding between the United States and the IRGC has attempted on numerous occasions actually to engage President Trump into conducting and carrying out an all-out ground invasion of Iran. As you might have noticed, President Trump has not taken that. No. To the contrary, President Trump has been playing the IRGC. He knows what they are attempting to do, and he is slower than they are. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you might have heard the news yesterday afternoon. The IRGC officially broke the ongoing ceasefire and fired numerous ballistic missiles over the Persian Gulf towards the United Arab Emirates and various other countries. But here's the thing. There's actually much more to this story than initially meets the something I want you to take a look at. Let's go ahead and break it down. Let's get all the information on the table. First off, breaking news this morning. Iran's president, Pezeshkian is his name, is reportedly incredibly angry. He's furious at the IRGC following the IRGC's series of ballistic missile and drone strikes targeted at the United Arab Emirates, which happened yesterday afternoon. The IRGC launched attacks without informing the Iranian government first. This is getting reported by Iran International. Very curious. Iranian report. Iranian President Pezeshkian was furious with IRGC commander Ahmad Vahidi over the attacks in the Strait of Hormuz yesterday afternoon, targeting UAE and Oman, which were carried out without the Iranian government's knowledge. Pezeshkian called for an urgent meeting with Supreme Leader Mojtaba Khamenei to stop the escalation.
Dude, these people are so lame, dude. Just sell the fucking car so someone else can have it, you fucking faggots, man.
That could lead potentially to irreversible
Calm down.
Kind of like one reason why you can't fucking buy or afford anything, because the fucking faggots that already have everything won't fucking sell it. Fucking kill yourselves. Fucking pieces of shit can afford a car after like 6 months of working. And they're fucking not even 20 years old.
Oh no. Where's all this anger coming from?
Every fucking atom molecule of life,
But what if they just don't want to sell their car?
That's how it is. You're born at the wrong time. You just gotta deal with it.
He's just maintaining his blockade of the Hormuz, slowly crippling the Iranian regime's economy. If you will allow me to pass on. President Trump is not a fighter. No, he's not attempting to pull off an immediate kill shot, risking everything in the process. Trump is a massive boa constrictor, slowly tightening and constricting upon his enemy, the IRGC. He's mounting a pressure campaign. Same thing he did against Venezuela. And guess what? President Trump's plan, this pressure, this constricting campaign, it's working. In fact, you want to see another part of that? That Iran's economy is currently collapsing. Why is it collapsing? Well, it's collapsing because of President Trump's ongoing major blockade. That is why. What's more, we have this. President Trump this morning said the Iranian people are going hard. Weapons are slowly being sent into Iran after the Iraqi Kurds initially stole most of the weapons from the Kurd army. If you remember this is probably several weeks ago. Mossad and the U.S. CIA attempted to smuggle weapons into Iran to arm the Iranian people and use the Kurds during the Palestinian area. They stole it. They stole it. Well, now we are successful. The weapons are slowly transferred into Iran. The revolutionaries, the freedom fighters, now they're finally getting a hold of the weapons.
Like there's a fucking guy who's selling a 68
Take a look at this report
Plymouth GTX. He says he's apparently selling it because he has medical problems and he needs the money, so he doesn't. There's no point of him having the car. but he doesn't lower the price. It's been there for 3 years for the same price, and it's a card in Canada, and he has the fucking price in American. Like what?
Maybe he died, dog.
Yeah, so fucking sell the car for a better price.
Whoa! But how could he sell it if he's fucking dead?
Okay, well then I fucking asked him about it. He should fucking give it to me for free then. That's how that should work.
Nice, dude.
From Martin Luther King Jr. got done from people like the Black Panthers.
He was definitely one of the most pivotal leaders.
Whoa! Dog, the goat plane is active. Whoa! Whoa!
It's over.
Dog. It's
It's
all
over.
fucked up, dog.
Oh, you win the lottery, dog.
Dog, if I fucking won the lottery, I'd puke and fucking eat it and puke it again.
Nice.
BO2 or MW2?
BO2.
Jetpacks or boots?
Jetpacks.
Rust or Nuketown?
Newtown.
M8 or Maddox?
M8.
Pick 10 or Gunsmith?
Pick 10. Oh my god, please get the gunsmith out.
Win champs and have no chips, or 10 chips, no champs?
That one's hard, just depends on the other chips. If I don't know the chips, probably just champs.
Stump or Crim?
Crap. I mean, what am I gonna say? Myself? What am I?
BO2 or MW2?
BO2.
Jetpacks or boots?
Jetpacks.
Rust or Nuketown?
Newtown.
M8 or Maddox?
M8.
Pick 10 or Gunsmith?
Pick 10. Oh my god, please get the gunsmith out.
Win champs and have no chips, or 10 chips, no champs?
That one's hard, just depends on the other chips. If I don't know the chips, probably just champs.
Stump or Crim?
Yo, dog, you there? What would you say was your favorite COD?
This is President Trump himself.
Me too.
MW2? Why I didn't hear what you said.
I spent a lot of time on Black Ops 2 with you, so that was pretty fun.
I'd say objectively BO1 and BO2 are the best games. BO2 is more refined, but BO1 the mechanics are just fucking untouchable, dude. I don't think I've ever played a game with like mechanics like that where I feel like you can tell like who's better in almost any aspect of the game, just the way they move, the way they fucking aim, what perks they use, attachments. Dude, I'm supposed to kill people and I don't know where they are. They're supposed to be in here, but they're not. I fucking killed these guys last time, dude. Yeah, BO2, the kill streaks were so good, like so fun to use, rewarding. The maps were good. The graphics sort of style was nice. The gunplay was really good. For some reason, people don't understand what I mean when I say gunfight mechanics. Like, you're gonna tell me every fucking shooter feels the same? Like the gunfights feel the same? No, that's retarded. Like it goes down to how the recoil is coded, how your character spins in the game. Where the fuck is my goddamn character or companion there? Yeah, like just because you could jump really high in Halo doesn't mean the gunfight mechanics felt the same as Titanfall. Like that just sounds retarded. People are dumb, dude. Fucking what else to say? People are fucking retarded.
Immigration in Canada has gone
nice. Oh shit, I forgot I used Old Republic gameplay for one or two of my videos. Forgot about that.
Himself.
So, look, if they had guns, which they don't have, if they had guns were
So I killed these guys last time and the game didn't even record it, bro.
But you know, now you have an unarmed population against people with AK-47. Instead, there, even if you have 250,000 people, so, you know, you started off by asking me, would I like to see them? And I'm very torn on it because they lost 42,000 people in the first 2 weeks. I don't really want to see that. They have to have guns. And I think they're getting some guns. As soon as they have guns, they'll fight like as good as anybody there is.
They don't have guns, but as soon as they do have guns, well, they're going to be able to rise up and take
Oh shit, dog. I shit myself.
Damn, dog.
This to say, listen very close. Listen very closely.
You're shit maxing, dog.
I can say this: Iran wants to make a deal. What I don't like about Iran is such great respect, and then they'll go on television and say, "We did not speak to the president. We did not." I just spoke to them. We did not speak to the president. So they play games. Let me just tell you, they want to make.
Think you'll ever get to that age where you shit yourself?
When your military is totally gone, we could do anything we want to them. Who wouldn't? Please.
So President Trump, as of 90 minutes ago,
That's a hell of a thought, dude.
The notion that Iran wants to make a deal, and this is, of course, just.
But you think you will?
This notion that huge factors. Political leadership, possession of because it's very important to keep in mind at this point, there is not just
There's gonna be a point where I can't exercise to keep my back in shape. And I'm just gonna have to fucking deal with it. Like, how does that even fucking make sense?
they do want to de-escalate. Maybe they do
Considering they care more about fucking, I don't even know what they care about in terms of the medical field, but I think as long as it doesn't kill you, you're not gonna find a cure for it.
is a hydra with many different heads, and I think at this point they're all doing different
Damn.
So, folks, here's the thing. President Trump knows that the clock is currently working against the Iranian regime, or whatever the hell.
You've seen Back to the Future, right?
So I'll tell you what. Here's one thing that we can say. President
Remember it.
slowly constricting whatever the hell's left of the Iranian regime. That seems to be his. We all know that going forward, President Trump will, in fact, continue to put America. Ladies and gentlemen, there is infighting inside the Iranian regime. President Trump is not taking the bait. His plan is to slowly bring them out. He's got them in a sleeper hold here. We all know it's only going to be a matter of time before they start capturing. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say, being here on a lovely Tuesday morning, man, today was a big show. I spent 5 hours in the day. Normally, I spend 4 hours doing the daily broadcasts ready to watch. You believe it? Today was a 5-hour. That was a big show today. 4 different massive.
Whoa, dog, that's another Sith.
Super chats had some wonderful ones. I want to see what everybody has to say about all of this. Something tax the rich and pay tax evaders, gifting a total of 30.
Tim's here.
Darth Ekige's assassins have been dealt with. Have you managed to accomplish your part?
Well, yes and no. I found a route into the deep prison, but it was a struggle, and unfortunately the way collapsed behind me. Bad luck, that. You'll have to find a different route to this level.
What good are you, then?
Oh no, don't forget. You need me. Good luck, Sith.
This guy's a fucking piece of shit, man.
Whoa. Subscriptions on Twitch. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
This guy's a fucking gay faggot, bro.
Let me go. Oh, hold up. Wait. What the hell am I doing? I need to put the hat
I
on.
must go back
Yeah,
to
put
the
hat on. I'm getting ahead of
fucking
myself.
fleet. I need to go get some
I'm getting ahead of
goddamn
myself. Now,
upgrades.
let's go ahead and pull these super chats and rumble with some folks. What do you say?
Hold it on to going to the fleet to get some fucking upgrades.
The sun is finally
Whoa.
out. At least out where I live. The sun is finally out. Go
Does
for a
caffeine
walk early
by
in the
itself
morning.
have a
It's
taste?
beautiful sunny morning. Life is good. Life is getting
Oh,
better.
I don't
because the
know.
Democrat
I've only
Party
ever
is
had it
currently
through
imploding.
coffee.
It's great. Life is slowly getting better.
But dog, there's
and I have the
caffeine
super
in
chats pulled up here,
Coca-Cola,
and I'm
dog.
ready to go. Okay, I need to find. Okay, where's the first one here?
Yeah, so you're asking me what caffeine tastes
Today's
like
the 5th,
just by
isn't it? Today
itself.
is the 5th. Right here.
Yeah, I know, but you said you've only had
This
it
is
in
from a
coffee.
super chatter who goes by the name Morse
Oh,
Force
oh.
1. Very relevant.
I thought you were
name, if I
talking
do
about
say so
like
myself.
taste,
Thank
like
you
if
very
I knew
much.
what the
Says,
taste was by
Yeah,
itself.
yeah,
So
no,
no.
I know. I thought I was, but
Thank
then
you
you
very
said
much,
that you
Morse
would,
Force 1.
that
Thank
you.
Thank you very much. Tom Nero says this. Go, Matt, go.
Nice! Fucking retard doesn't even remember what he fucking said.
No, I'm trying to think of what you said. You said you've only had it
Fuck,
for
no,
coffee.
yeah, you're
which
trying to
is-
remember, you fucking piece of shit. Shut your fucking mouth before you have an
He
aneurysm.
says Kirsten Sinema, senator of Arizona, lost after switching from Democrats to Independent and is replaced by seditious and cartel-loving Democrats. Yep, that's right. After she refused to vote alongside the Democrats to do the filibuster. It is true. Thank you, Kevin. Bill Tracy Sr. says, "Hi, Matt. I'm occasionally wrong, but I'm still right." You know, I can't relate because I've
Displaying all authorized destinations.
Yeah, no, actually, yeah, I've probably have been wrong about a couple things, but hey, you know, it's a one-man show. These things happen. You know, really, everybody's a one-man show. You're a one-man show. I'm a one-man show. We're all one-man shows. Thank you very
Use
much.
them all.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. Tracy. I appreciate that. PDX67, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Mr. Adamite, Greg Adamite, hello, welcome back to the show. He says this. Massive super chat. He says, "Howdy, Matt. I got some unforeseen lousy news last week, and if you can ask the force if they could think of me during their prayers.
Oh,
Lost a lot
shit,
of sight in the
dude.
left eye, and say have some form of Parkinson's disease. Thanks." Well, first off, I am very sorry to hear that news. Of course, everyone in the audience, everyone in Morse Force is praying and thank you very much. I appreciate that. The number one thing, listen, I don't ask a lot from you guys. I ask that you like, I ask that you subscribe, and I have another request. I request that all of you take care of yourselves. You gotta stay fit, healthy, exercise. No health issues. You guys need to take care of yourselves. That includes you. Really seriously, I hope that that you're able to take care of yourself and navigate whatever the problem here exactly is. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. My name is Matt Morris. We're live right now on YouTube, as well as on Rumble, as well as on Twitch at Matt Morris TV. Ladies and gentlemen, boy, howdy do we have one hell of a show ahead of us today. You know, some days we've got a little bit of good news, a little bit of bad news. Folks, today, heads up, a little bit of a spoiler here. Today, I apologize, we have literally nothing but good news. In fact, no, not good, stellar, phenomenal. Last night, ladies and gentlemen, we all witnessed what can only be described as a figurative rhino bloodbath. A rhino bloodbath, figuratively speaking, has just taken place in our very first set of midterm Republican primaries. Folks, after last night, it seems as if the rhinos are actually currently set to go extinct altogether. Right now, they are an endangered species, if you
Damn
will.
dog, we got a blue
Now, between
Asian
you and
baddie
me,
dog.
personally, I couldn't be happier. I'm not exactly upset about this. What's more, last night, the Democrats also got some absolutely catastrophic news as well. We're going to break all of this down. Now, enough about last night. This morning, the FBI,
none of
President
my
Trump's
girls
FBI,
wanna
has
talk.
gone into what can only be described as hyperdrive, unleashing an absolutely massive flurry of subpoenas,
Would you rather
raids,
have
arrests,
more-
and also releasing some pretty
Would you rather
big
have 2 loyal
hints
chicks or
or
4
clues,
chicks
you
that
might call
are
them,
not
as
loyal?
to what might be coming
Or
up
even
here
one
in the
loyal chick to
very
4
near
loyal.
future. And as a little bit of a spoiler here,
So is it
I
2 or
think all
1?
of you are going to like today's news.
It's 1.
We also, folks, have just gotten some absolutely phenomenal news pertaining to a little thing you might have heard
The
of.
same looks
A little
wise.
thing called mass deportations. And I'll tell you what,
Yeah, sure.
I think some of today's immigration news, immigration updates are
Does that
going
mean I have to be
absolutely
loyal?
you never would have expected some
Well,
of
if you
this
have the
stuff.
one chick,
Things are
then
going very well.
you only
And
have that
also,
one.
on
If you
top
have
of that,
the
as
4,
of
then
this
you'll
morning,
only
it
have
seems as if none other than the now infamous Iranian regime, including the now infamous IRGC, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard
I don't
Corps,
know.
well, it seems as if they are officially willing to tap out and
How old are
perhaps
they?
even meet all
Okay.
of President Trump's demands.
What
So,
age
ladies
would you
and
want them
gentlemen,
to
like
be?
I said, we have, boy howdy.
Well,
as my
no, that's what I'm
grandfather
asking. I
used to
just
say,
I want to know
one hell of a show ahead of
what
us.
they are.
Do me a favor. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. It really helps a lot. You know, not much in this life is free, as I'm sure you all know, but hitting the like button is free.
Guess they're
Subscribing to the
all
channel is free.
20
So, hey,
Okay, would you
you
rather
can't
them be
pass it up.
23 or
Ladies
27?
and gentlemen, with that little introductory preamble, with all that jibber jabber out of the
23.
way,
Okay, so they're all 23.
what do you say we go ahead and get right into the news? Well, okay, let's go ahead and do it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you what. Last night was a figurative
Sure, I'll take the one
bloodbath
chick.
for the rhinos. You see, as you might
Yeah,
remember,
I think
back in
I
December
think
of
2 is a
2025,
no-brainer
just
for me, but
6
even
months
1 I
ago,
would probably
half a
choose
year,
that for
a
sure.
group of rhinos in the great state of Indiana actually got together to block President Trump's effort to redistrict the state, trying really to toss out all of the Democrats' beloved gerrymandered voting districts. Seriously, these rhinos in Indiana pretty much did the dirty work for the Democrats. And so it was because of this rhino treachery 6 months ago that President Trump, well, he went to war. President Trump declared war on all of these Indiana state rhinos for their treachery. And I'll tell you what, last night, President Trump officially won that war. You see, last night, eight of these treacherous Indiana state rhinos attempted to make their way through their Republican primary elections, competing against a collective of President Trump's hand-picked and endorsed America First Republican candidates. And well, as I said, it was pretty much a figurative bloodbath for these rhinos. Let's go ahead and break it all down. Last night was a very good night for President Trump in Indiana. 6 of 8 anti-redistricting rhino GOP, these are the rhinos, rhino incumbents in the state of Indiana in the Indiana State Senate actually ended up losing, with Trump having endorsed 5 of the challengers. Just one rhino incumbent survived, while another rhino incumbent is in a race right now that is too close to call. It's a 0.02% margin, just like a handful of votes. So it's too early to call. But folks, to be very clear here, what we might see is that 7 out of the 8 rhinos that betrayed Trump, that really betrayed this republic, have now gotten replaced. At a minimum, 6 of them, perhaps even 7, are going to get replaced for their treachery 6 months ago. They were doing the dirty work of the Democrats. They refused to toss out these dirty, crooked Democrat gerrymandered voting districts. We went to war. We won that war as of last night. But you know what's funniest about all of this, perhaps, is that for over a year now, We've been hearing that following the 2024 election, that President Trump won in a landslide, as you all know, we've been hearing that President Trump's influence over the Republican Party has been fading away. That really, no one even cares what President Trump has to say anymore. That soon he'll be out the door, a thing of the past. Nobody even cares about MAGA or Trump these days. We've been hearing that for over a year now. Well, following last night's election, with 6, maybe 7 of these Trump-endorsed, Trump-backed America First MAGA Republicans replacing these rhinos, I'm not so sure about that. In fact, I've got something I want you to take a look at.
Look, all of these polls that try to suggest that Donald Trump's influence is waning are completely false. Donald Trump has never been stronger, especially with the Republican base. And you saw it last night in Indiana. He's become more than Donald Trump. He is an icon of the ages, and when he speaks, people listen. And I know the left doesn't like to hear that, Stuart, but it's fact, and you saw it last night on display in Indiana. Look, all of...
And you know what, folks? I'll tell you what. For better or for worse here, 25, 30, 40 years from now, after Trump is long gone, here's what I can promise you. I can promise you that Republican politicians, 30, 40, 50 years from now, well, they're going to be fighting over Donald Trump's legacy. They're going to be saying 50 years from now, well, Trump would have endorsed me. Nuh-uh, Trump would have endorsed me. That's what they're going to be saying. That is just how influential Trump and his movement really is. And now, after last night, as if we needed even more proof, that's the absolute truth. There's no denying it. And actually, I've got something else I want you to take a listen to. Check this out.
He's the boss of the party. I think Alyssa stated it very well. He calls the shots in the Republican Party, and if you go against that, he will pour his wrath out upon you, and doesn't typically turn out well. As Harry Hinton has said before, go against Trump in a primary, and you wind up in the grinder, and that's what happened in Indiana. To me, what I was looking for tonight was the forward-looking lessons here. For instance, what's going to happen in Kentucky in a couple of weeks in that 4th congressional district where Thomas Massie is the one congressional Republican who has been the biggest thorn in Donald Trump's side. They have poured millions into that race, and a lot of people are wondering, could he withstand a challenge from a Trump-backed a challenger there? If you look at what happened in Indiana tonight, and you're Thomas Massie tonight, or you're anybody else in a primary right now where Trump's on the other side of you, you got to be thinking, this is a bad night for me. But bottom line is, there's always plenty of money in politics, and it's always the president's priorities and prerogatives that call the shots in his or her political party, and here we are.
You gotta stay in line. Listen, you step out of line, you might get cut out of the line. You might get bopped back down in your place or replaced altogether. And that is what we have seen time and time again. Listen, it's worth saying. I mean, some of you are old enough to remember this. Some of you have better memories than me. Compare the 2026 Republican Party, the GOP, to the GOP to the Republican Party 15 years ago, during the Obama era, or even the Bush era. Compare Trump, for better or for worse. It's a fact of the matter. I would say better. It's up for you to decide. Trump, in 2015, going into 2016, he won the election in 2017. Trump has torn the Republican Party asunder. He tore it down to its foundations, and he rebuilt it. He built it up in the image of MAGA. He built it up in the image of America First. The two parties now, I'll call it two parties because the party is totally different 15, 20 years ago to how it is now. The party is better than it has ever been, and the reason why that has taken place, it's because it's a 10-year-long journey of identifying the treacherous rhinos and primarying them, replacing them with Republicans that are actually willing to put America first, that are actually willing to make America great again. But now, as I said, it's not only the rhinos who have just suffered last night an absolutely crippling loss. You see, because of the ongoing redistricting war, as it's being called, the Democrats, in a lot of ways similar to the rhinos right now, are actually set to lose absolutely everything. I want you to take a look at this. Comprehensive recap, comprehensive overview of the current status of the redistricting war. Well, Republicans are absolutely dominating this redistricting war. Let's talk about the confirmed, the locked-in redistricting that has already taken place. California +5 for the Democrats. Utah +1 for the Democrats. Florida +4 for the Republicans. Missouri +1 for the Republicans. North Carolina +1 for the Republicans. Ohio +2 for the Republicans. Texas +5 for the Republicans. So locked in and confirmed right now, total +6 for the Democrats, +14 for the Republicans. But that's not all, because there's still some pending redistricting going on that's still sort of being litigated. It's still in the pipeline, if you will. Alabama, +1 for the Republicans. This has a 62% chance of actually manifesting.
Doug is still there.
Louisiana, +2 for the Republicans. 94% chance of this happening. Mississippi, +1 for the Republicans. A small 28% of this happening. So this one might not happen. Tennessee,